The gigantic hand made of origin power clapped down, and sure enough, it completely suppressed Ling Dongxing and even sealed his dantian. The current Ling Dongxing was now no stronger than any ordinary person. Ha! Cheng Wen-kun laughed loudly. He felt very well. He was extremely delighted at this long-awaited scene. From the moment he had awakened his spirit base and began his path of cultivation, he had always been compared with Ling Dongxing, but Ling Dongxing's prowess had always exceeded his own, and he could only be considered the second best. Fortunately, Ling Dongxing had never managed to break through to Gushing Spring Tier, which gave him a faint ray of hope. And now such a close rival that had always been weighing him down was actually so easily suppressed. How could he not be ecstatic at this? But at the same time, he was also extremely shocked. Gushing Spring Tier was really too powerful. Cheng Jiyu had just barely broken through, and Ling Dongxing was practically defenseless against him. Take all of them down. Whoever dares to resist, kill them with no exceptions. He commanded coldly, and with a wave of his hand, all the martial artists of the Cheng clan behind him charged towards the Ling clan, moving forwards in a very imposing manner. On the other hand, the Ling clan, due to the suppression of their clan head, as well as the fact that the opposing party had a powerful warrior of Gushing Spring Tier on their side, suffered a drastic decrease in their morale, so they couldn't put up any efficient resistance. There were a few clansmen in Element Gathering Tier who had attempted to flee, yet all of them were chased down by Cheng Jiyu, and with a palm strike, they were all beaten half to death. I never thought that the Cheng clan actually still had a powerful warrior of Gushing Spring Tier as their trump card. He should have just broken through recently, otherwise, they wouldn't have waited until now to make their comeback. The saying that every dog has its day is really true. Who would have thought that the Cheng clan would actually be able to make a gigantic comeback out of nowhere, precisely when they were forced into such dire straits? According to the temperament of the clansmen of the Cheng clan, I'm afraid that no one from the Ling clan would be able to escape with their lives. The Cheng clan will be in charge of the town in the future, and our days probably wouldn't be easy after this. All of the spectators were astonished at the might of Cheng Jiyu, but could also not help sighing and shaking their heads. All of the people of the Cheng clan were arrogant and overbearing, and in the future, where their clan was the one in charge, the townspeople would probably be having hard times ahead of them. Less than half an hour later, all of the clansmen of the Ling clan were practically taken down. There were only a mere several clansmen who had businesses outside of the Ling clan main residence that had fortunately escaped this calamity temporarily. Where is Ling Han? Cheng Jiyu approached Ling Dongxing, killing intent brimming in his eyes. He had commanded the others to search for Ling Han, yet the latter could not be found anywhere in the Ling clan residence. Ling Dongxing laughed loudly. My son has already been taken as a disciple by the Huyang Academy. If you people dare to touch a single hair on his head, that would be equivalent to declaring war on the imperial family of Rain Country. Cheng Wen-kun walked over and said, That trash son of yours entering Huyang Academy. Who are you trying to fool? Ling Dongxing spat and said, My son not only is going to enter Huyang Academy, he's also the first-place champion of this time's Dayuan tournament. In future, he'd at least manage to break through to Spiritual Ocean Tier. So just wait. Nonsense. Cheng Wen-kun scoffed. That trash son of yours dreams of taking the first place in Dayuan tournament? Ling Dongxing, you really like to indulge in fantasies to actually use such a hilarious story to attempt to fool us. Actually, if he had said that Ling Han was able to enter into Huyang Academy, Cheng Wen-kun would still have believed him. After all, Cheng Xuanhuan was defeated by Ling Han, but now he's saying that Ling Han got the first place? What a gigantic joke! This time's Dayuan tournament was the gathering place of geniuses. There were powerful warriors from the previous Dayuan tournament, like the Fourth Prince and Jin Wuji, as well as new talents like Baili Teng Yun and Xia Zhongguang. How could Ling Han be able to win? Heng, so what if he has been accepted by the Huyang Academy? As long as he has not stepped into the Huyang Academy, he cannot be considered as a disciple of Huyang Academy. Cheng Wen-kun's killing intent soared, and then he spoke to Cheng Jiyu. "Third uncle, why don't we hang them all up at the entrance to the town and wait until Ling Han, that little beast, returns, then kill all of them?" "Very well, we'll do that. I want to scoop out the heart and dig out the lungs of that little bastard, Ling Han, in front of him and make him also have a taste of losing his own flesh and blood." Cheng Jiyu coldly humped. "We only need to leave about 10 plus of them alive. As for the others, kill them all." Cheng Wen-kun said deeply. "Cheng Wen-kun, you dare." Ling Dongxing roared. The clansmen of the Ling clan alone numbered a few hundred, and added with their servants and guards, those that did not share their surname, the total reached over 1,000. And now only about 10 plus would be left alive, so how many people would be killed? Why do I not dare? Cheng Wen-kun laughed coldly. This was establishing the might of the Cheng clan, sacrificing the lives of the clansmen of the Ling clan to let the townspeople of Grey Cloud Town know that this would be the inevitable result when opposing their Cheng clan. "Kill them," he shouted loudly. "Pooh! Pooh!" One by one, their heads were chopped off with no exceptions. It was a complete bloodbath, and corpses lay everywhere. Not every clansman of the Ling clan was unafraid of death. Many of them had begged for mercy, but it was pointless. The Cheng clan was determined to wipe the Ling clan out of existence and had absolutely no intention to accept surrender. There was only slaughter, which transformed the whole Ling clan residence into a realm of death. When Ling Dongxing watched all this happen before his eyes, he felt like it was him that was being torn apart. All of these people were his clansmen, and as the clan head, how could his heart not be bleeding at this horrific scene? But he was still more worried about his son. If Ling Han returned, what if he fell into the hands of the Cheng clan? Though Ling Han had an affable relationship with quite a few black-grade alchemists, the problem was, would the Cheng clan believe him? Moreover, the news that Ling Han had won the first-place champion of the Dayuan tournament had not yet spread to these parts, so the Cheng clan would naturally not have any worries about attacking his son. If his son died, then even if he himself died, how could he bear to face his wife? His heart was burning with anxiety, yet there was nothing he could do. The remaining 10-plus survivors of the Ling clan were dragged to the eastrance of the town, where 10-plus short wooden pillars had been set up. Ling Dongxing and the others all had had their dantians sealed, and all of them were forced to kneel on the ground, their hands and feet tied to the wooden pillars. "Woo! Woo! Big brother Da Xiang!" Ling Zixuan wept bitterly. She was one of the few survivors, yet maybe not one of the fortunate. "Pa!" One of the clansmen of the Cheng clan gave her a slap and shouted, "Stop crying!" Yet Ling Zixuan wept even louder, enraging him, and he quickly drew the saber at his waist. "Forget it, forget it!" Someone persuaded him. Perhaps it was due to the fact that Ling Zixuan was really too young, causing mercy to rise within him. Just let her cry as much as she likes. We can use that as a show of deterrence. This is the fate that awaits anyone who dares to oppose our Cheng clan. Hehe! What, clan head? You're still trampled under my feet now. One of them stepped on Ling Dongxing's head. He even deliberately smeared the dirt on his shoe onto Ling Dongxing's face, causing Ling Dongxing to tremble with rage. Ha ha ha! So what if you're in the 9th layer of element gathering tier? Now even a mere 6th layer of body refining tier can easily trample on you. Ling clan is finished. Now the Grey Cloud Town belongs to our Cheng clan. The night passed. The 10-plus remaining survivors of the Ling clan were all shivering as they suffered from the cold, so much that even ice had formed on their hair ends. Moreover, after nearly a day without any food or water, their stomachs were all rumbling with hunger. Cheng Wen-kun appeared. He wanted to see as every bit of hope slowly disappeared from the eyes of his longtime rival, and finally see as he'd be flung into absolute despair after seeing his only son die in front of his very eyes. It would only be at that moment that he would kill Ling Dongxing, and finally end the rivalry that had persisted between them for more than 30 years. Ling Dongxing, are you regretting it yet? He mocked and ridiculed. Only when he was satisfied would he leave, and the next day he would appear again punctually to continue making fun of this former rival of his. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. Ling Dongxing and the others were all left barely alive. After a whole 3 days without any food, if they had not been fed water, they would definitely have died from dehydration. But they were currently extremely weak, so much that they didn't even have the energy to curse at their captors. "Report!" A man raced over, half kneeling on the ground. He said, "Informing the clan head, we've discovered signs of Linghan. He's about 50 miles away from the town." "Ha!" Cheng Wen-kun was stunned for a moment, before laughing loudly. With a wave of his hand, he commanded, "Quickly go and fetch third uncle. He will soon be able to have his revenge."